Reminders, when we start the march, we have some more speakers, but when we start the march, everybody needs to be behind the banner. Also, only people that are up here are people who are speaking, so please respect that. Okay, since we're texting things, I spoke a little bit about next steps for how do we get justice for these families. So we want community control of the police. And how are we going to get that? Our first step is to amend the Charter Amendment. And so I have the lovely Selena. Selena, will you come over here for just a second next to me? Selena, who are you? What do you know about this petition right here?
In Minneapolis, please come up here and sign this petition. I plan to walk the crowd today. Please sign this petition. It is so important. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Selena. Selena is one of the people that are on the committee who brought this petition forward for community control of the police. And Selena is a North Sider. Yes, North Side. North Side. That's where a lot of TCC for J does our organizing, but we're also organizing the whole city. Real quick, I'm going to give you this text number. It's 612-453-3152. Text C, the letter C is in cat, P is in Paul, A is in apple, and then C again, and C is in cat, to 612-453-3152. That's going to sign you up for text alerts about community control of the police. And so I'm going to hand it over to our next speaker right here.
To the racist system.
No good cops to the racist system.
No good cops to the racist system.
No good cops to the racist system.
ACAB.
So our next speaker is going to be a young speaker from Minneapolis, Victor Ramirez. All right. I want to start off with a quote from Chauvin's 30. I quote, "But when you review the actual evidence and when you hear the law and find reason and common sense, you will find Chauvin not guilty." And I call bullshit. He mentions common sense, but common sense tells us that this was a murder, and that is why we are here today. Common sense tells me that America is not stuck with the sea for 3 decades. Common sense tells me that racism is still alive. Common sense tells me that my brothers and sisters, that me as a brown young teen, I am scared when a cop stops me. I am scared when I walk the street. I am scared for my life because of the color of my skin. Common sense tells me that Chauvin is a murderer.
That's right.
That 926 is the number of a lynching. That 926 was the number of someone's life being taken. And I think that's what common sense tells me. I am here to demand that his bitch ass goes to jail along with the 400 and plus killer cops in Minnesota. I'm here today, and we're here today to demand justice for George Floyd and all the stolen lives taken by the system. This dumbass lawyer also mentioned reason. This makes me think of the reason why Chauvin thought he could take George Floyd's life. The real reason being police not being held accountable for murdering people or being acquitted for murder. The reason being systemic racism, white people always getting passed while brown and black people and getting locked up or killed. cops being able to do whatever they want, regardless of the situation. I'm here to say that if Chauvin gets off this charge, that if he gets a bullshit conviction, that I am going to be on the streets giving no peace until justice is served. I'm going to be on the streets saying, damn, I'm mad, and I'm tired of this bullshit. I'm tired of having to be here because we shouldn't have to be here. Because justice should be served. Because this was a murder. If we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
if we don't get no justice,
They don't get no peace.
if George doesn't get no justice, stand to the ground.
All right, so this next speaker is Meredith Abbey from the Anti-War Committee. Please give it up for Meredith Abbey.
I'm here today representing the anti-war movement, and I think it's important to understand that we're out here every single week protesting for Black lives, and it's because we see connections. This is about George Floyd, but unfortunately it's not just about George Floyd. We have deaths happening of BIPOC people in our country every single day, but also we've seen this for decades. In Iraq, in Afghanistan, in Palestine. And when Jelani was talking about state-sanctioned murder, it's important to see that this state-sanctioned murder is happening at a global level.
Yeah!
Many of our BIPOC communities that are here in Minnesota are here directly because of U.S. warfare. Our Somali sisters and brothers are here because we destroyed their communities. Our sisters and brothers are here because we destroyed their country. And during this trial, what we are going to see is the U.S. Army again and the National Guard occupying our streets. And they're going to be using the same equipment we use in places like Iraq and Afghanistan. And so it is important to understand that this is a fight for justice, and that justice is both local as well as global. So we're here today to say his name, but we're also here today because we don't want there to be more families that have to go through what George Floyd's families had to go through. So say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
See you in the streets!
ACAB! All country masters! ACAB! All country masters! I smell bitches! I smell bitches! I smell bitches! I smell bitches! All right, so our next speaker is also a Justice family member, but also one of the founders of our local Justice Family Matter.
We get down to stand in solidarity as part of representing Native Lives Matter. I'm also here representing my brother Paul Castro, who was murdered by police in Denver, Colorado. So I'm here in solidarity with all the justice families here, including George Floyd. Because we know what the family are going through. I'm always going to say that. And we're always going to stand in solidarity, and we're always going to be here to turn this shit up. I see that there's a lot of cameras here. I see that there's a lot of cameras here, so before I go, I want to turn this up one time. I smell bitches! I smell bitches! I smell bitches! I smell bitches! Native Lives Matter. Thank you.
All right, coming next up to the mic is one of the OGs, someone that's been out here for a long time. wait a lot longer than I have. Representing BLM Minneapolis, we have Troy Hard.
Peace. I'm from Black Lives Matter, Minnesota, and thanks to the youth for holding us down. If it wasn't for our youth who stood up against the National Guard and the white race soldiers who were coming into our community last summer to pepper spray us and shoot us with rubber bullets. We're starting, before I get started, say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say his name. George Floyd. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. George Floyd. Say his name. Say his name. No doubt. Shout out to Delal Aid and his family. Big shout out to Delshia Perry and the fight for justice for Hardell. Even Demetrius Hill. We got to go back 25 years. We want an independent investigation into any police-related shooting that has resulted in death in the last 25 years. So that's part of our reparations platform when we're talking about truth and reconciliation. But we can't have reconciliation until we have justice. We've been talking about Lady Liberty. So one part, Lady Liberty wears a blindfold. And the blindfold means that you're not supposed to see a person's race, color, or income. However, it has been routine for in the United States for the criminal justice system or Lady Liberty to take her blindfold off when Black lives step into the court. And we've seen that today when they started lying or trying to say that he died because he was on drugs, or that basically he deserved to die because he was a black person on drugs. Somebody say that's that bullshit. No doubt. To make it feasible or to make it easy to kill us in the Constitution, to make us be slaves, they said we were 3/5 of a human being. So basically, that's what was happening in the court. That's what the defense was trying to say today about George Floyd, that he wasn't a human being, and that it's okay to put your knee on an animal's neck for 9 minutes and 29 seconds. Somebody say that's that bullshit. That's that bullshit. We know that we're humans. They know that we're humans, but they'll pretend, they'll deny us our humanity so it's easy to kill us. So, going forward, let's start humanizing each other, right? Yes. Let's start humanizing each other and stop demonizing each other and stop undermining each other, okay? Let's do that as a community and as a country and as a people and unite against white supremacy and institutional racism in the state of Minnesota and throughout the United States. Say his name. Say his name. Say his name. Say her name. Say her name. Say her name. Peace.
All right. So I'm going to next introduce Kaya from Good Trouble and Chaz, also co-hosting. They're going to do talk about what they're going to be doing, and there's a little interaction. Woo!
Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send those killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Derek Chauvin, guilty as fucking hell. Are you enraged? I'm enraged. I'm enraged. Where is everybody else right now? How many people live in this city? How many people live in the Twin Cities metro? We will not get justice until the people who aren't affected are as enraged as the people who are. Where are they? Get out here and do something. That's right. We, as people of color, Black, Indigenous, Asian, Hispanic, Latinx, we have been out here begging to not be treated like second-class citizens for literally centuries. Yeah. When is this country going to get it together? But we're not here to express our rage. We're here to sort of deal with another side of this tragedy. Our event is the Locks of Love tragedy, and we had an idea to write the names of those people who have been killed by the police on padlocks, and we're locking them on this fence. This fence represents militaristic fascism, and this fence represents the failure of the city of Minneapolis to build a relationship with the community. So rather than them shutting us out because they're afraid to hear what we have to say about their immoral policies and their racist policing, we're just going to put a little something on it to remind everyone that they murdered people that were loved. They murdered people's sons, people's husbands, people's father's sons. They murdered sisters, moms. How dare they? How dare they?
Hello, my name is Chaz Neal, and I'm from Red Wing, Minnesota. How many people out here are from Greater Minnesota? Because I drive every morning an hour and 15 minutes to get here by 7. How many other people out here at 7 in the morning? Because the only people I see that get here are media. We started this Locks for Love to moralize and that these are gone but never forgotten names. And we need to keep on these names in the air until we, they say we're supposed to scream it out to existence. Well, I want people to scream out these names into existence until we get justice. Because until we get justice, we are not leaving these streets. Thank you very much.
Go ahead and cue up the music, Peter.
And this time, if you brought Locks for Love, Chaz and I are going to walk over and we're going to be hanging the locks on the fence. Please join us.
How many more times? How many more times? How many more marches? How many more times? How many more lives? How many more times? Playing in the park, taking a job, sleeping on the couch, ain't no lie. It don't matter what we do. You think you don't matter? Do you? City on fire. Why you make why? That's a song about the body that we bear. We were down and we come on down to worry. It's so hard to sing the stories out loud. All these people, precious red light. Lost in the name, this is way. It's from the home. How many others have home? How many
Hey everybody, while this participatory art project is going on, there's a lot of people involved in what's going on right now, and it takes a lot of effort. And we have independent by billionaires, everything like that. As far as I know. Everything that we do, we have jobs. Some of us have 2 or 3 jobs. Our single parents take care of kids. And so so I'm gonna pass it over to Mohammed. From here, he's gonna let you know how you can go.
I'm with Chairman Silva, and earlier today when John spoke about the 8 bills, you didn't actually take a look at them. If you go to mncoalition.org, you can take a look at all the bills that we are actually pushing through the legislature. We have 6 of them that are hopefully going to head forward to the House floor. But also, there's also a donate button. You can donate to any of our 6 organizations that's here in Minnesota, that's CDC for Jail, Communities Running Against Youth Brutality, Individual Justice Network, and so many others, including the Minnesota Justice Coalition, Families Supporting Families Against Youth Brutality, so on and so forth. So if you go to mncoalition.org, there is a donate button to support any of our organizations, as well as if you want to take an in-depth look at the bill, you can go ahead and go to our website. Thank you. And take an action as well. So again, I want to repeat our phone number. Feel free to text the number 8 for the 8 bills. That's the number 8 to 612-200-2550. Again, text the number 8 to 612-200-2550. Thank you.
Fuck the police!
Mic check. Okay, we're gonna continue on with our program. All this stuff is going on, and it's my honor to introduce Miss Monique Colors-Doty. Miss Monique is the aunt of Marcus Golden, who was killed by the St. Paul Police Department. And one thing is the movement we believe is that the families have to be front and center in the work that we're doing, and Monique exemplifies what it means to keep on moving and fight for justice as a family member, and she's brought a lot of family members forward. And I heard that she was at the very first TPD for Day meeting. Went down in the history book, so I'm happy. Also a member of TPD for Day and so many other ones.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you all for being out here. Black lives! Black lives! George Floyd! George lives! Our lives! Our lives! That's right. So when we're out here for George, we're out here for all of our lives. We have to continue to stand up for justice for George, because if the police can get away with this, they will get away with everything. And they already get away with everything. So for our international media, for those of you who may not be as accustomed to American traditions and habits, what happened to George Floyd is very American. What happened to George Floyd has been happening to the descendants of enslaved Africans since they first came to America. And white people, even without badges, have been able to kill our black men, our black women, and our black children and get away with it. So this is nothing new for us. What is new is that we have the capacity to record on our cell phones. What has happened? There are so many more family members who've been killed in Minneapolis and St. Paul, throughout Minnesota, throughout the entire United States, who weren't filmed. Their loved ones were not filmed, and there's witnesses who are just too afraid. So I'm going to give a shout out to the young sister that recorded the killing of George Floyd. That poor sister, she ended up getting death threats for doing the right thing, doing what was just, letting the world see that George Floyd was being killed slowly, methodically, and with just a knee on his neck. And that's not the first time that people that in the Minneapolis Police Department had used their knee on somebody, killed them. I believe the other brother's name was David Smith. And after David Smith was killed, that tactic was not to be used anymore. We recently just saw last week at a homeless encampment, Minneapolis police was back again with a knee on their neck on an individual who was homeless. So nothing has changed so far. And if Derek Chauvin does not go to prison, the police will know that they can continue to get away with everything. And why is that? That is because we have a judicial system based on white supremacy, a judicial system based on capitalism, based on slavery, and based on genocide. That is the foundation of America. So I say the killing of George Floyd is very American. And we have to stand up against the rhetoric and against the propaganda. We're told that the purpose of the police is to protect and serve. The purpose of the police is not to protect and serve you or myself. The purpose of the police is to maintain the status quo, to uphold white supremacy, privilege, and capitalism. So we cannot expect the police to, when you say do your job, when they're beating someone, they are doing their job. That's what we have to understand. When they kill someone in the streets and cover it up, they are doing their job. They go above and beyond what is written in the position description. And because of that, what do? They kill someone and they get promoted. It is part of what is expected out of the police system, and that thin blue line is a thin blue line of hatred and racism. The police are a cult, and they do not bend and bow to anyone or anything, especially not in Minnesota. So it is important that we continue to stand out here in these streets. So I have to bring this message that in November, there were 646 plus peaceful demonstrators protesting. We were kettled on I-94 between Riverside and Cedar. We did not shut down the freeway. The law enforcement had already gone down ahead of us and shut it down. We were not allowed off that freeway. We were all arrested. 646 people arrested. People who were supporting us, standing by and watching, trying to record as a young woman recorded George Floyd. They were harassed, nearly run over with horses, maced and beaten, windows broken out of cars. It was a very violent attack. But yet what the Minneapolis police reported was no chemical agents were used. Yes, they were. That's that bullshit. But we have to remember, so many people who are out there have other reasons why they cannot stand and tolerate to have this on their record. And there's two charges, and one is a criminal charge. So we have to demand that Governor Walz drop those charges. We have to demand that the head of the Commissioner of Public Safety, John Harrington, drop those damn charges. We have to call on Mayor Frye, drop those damn charges. Because it's all BS. We also have to stand up for the 6 people who were arrested outside of Derek Chauvin's house after he killed George Floyd. Peaceful protesters. The response to George Floyd's death by police in Oakdale and law enforcement who came out from all over the metro area to protect Derek Chauvin's house was greater than the response to the protesters who are pro-Trump supporters who flooded the U.S. state capitol. There was more violence used on us before we were arrested than were used on the people who had invaded and tried to take over the United States Capitol. So drop those charges for the Oakdale 6 who had to be out there standing up because Derek Chauvin should not have been allowed to be in his home comfortable while George Floyd was sitting up in a morgue. We have to stand up for the 50 people who are kettled and arrested following the Breonna Taylor finding out the officer is not going to be charged. There were 50 people, and what they called themselves doing is practicing for the moment that the verdict comes down. And if Derek Chauvin is set free, they were practicing on us. Rather than practicing justice, they want to practice injustice. So I call on all of you to stand with us, having those charges dropped, so we can continue to be out in the streets. No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
All power to the people. When I say fuck, you say 12. Fuck! 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 All right, we're moving on. Here is Tucson Worsen coming to the stage. Y'all give them up.
If George don't get it, shut it down. 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 I've never watched the video of Derek Chauvin murdering George Floyd, and I'm never going to watch it. But my heart goes out to all the black folks that never get a trigger warning. You wake up in the morning and you turn on the internet
and you see somebody that looks like you getting publicly executed, getting put down in the street while others watch. My heart breaks for you, my heart breaks for us, and my heart breaks for this state. This is a state where sundown towns were created. This is a state that has a whole lot of Islamophobia. This is a state that can be racist for free. In the South, when you had to split things up, that cost you money. But here in this state, this racism comes with a smile. It comes with ostracizing somebody. It comes with passively excommunicating you. So they don't gotta split it up, but they just ask you, are you here to buy something? And for my Asian brothers and sisters, you know that it doesn't have to be as physically violent to be racist. The last president can use xenophobic language that can organize an entire country to get violent upon you. That xenophobic language led to over 3,800 incidents of Asian American and Pacific Islander violence. Now, what do you think has led to George Floyd? What do you think led to May 25th? What was the passive, complicit actions that led to the murder of George Floyd? How many of you want a new Minnesota? And what are you going to do to get it? In 2013, Terrence Franklin was shot execution style in a basement in Uptown. Silence. 2015, brother gets killed by the cops. 2016, brother gets killed by the cops. Thurman Blevins, Philando Castile, Jamar Clark. I don't want to wait for another hashtag justice for enter black man's name here. I want justice now. And I want a new Minnesota. I want a new city. I don't want there to be the passive racism here and you don't pride yourself just because you vote blue. You need to show up and do better. The one thing I can appreciate about an overt racist person is that they say they are. I cannot stand with people who are racist and will never tell you. Where are my black brothers and sisters out here? I need y'all to come up here. I need y'all to come up here. Black brothers and sisters, come up here. This is Minneapolis. This is Minneapolis. This is your family. When I say that you're not alone, I mean that. When I say that I got your back, I mean that. When we say that we got each other's back, we have to mean that. Now turn out to that, to the Hennepin County Government Center. Everybody fist up. Black lives, they matter here. 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 And you don't need a Hennepin County Government Center to let you know that murder happened. You vote with your conscience. You know what happened. You know who you are, and you know that you are somebody. All power to the people. Thank you.
Mic check! Mic check! Mic check! If you're coming with us on the march, you need to start lining up now. Again, if you're coming with us on the march, you need to start lining up behind this banner now. Hello, everybody on the plaza. I'm talking to you. If you're coming with us, please start getting behind the banner. We have one speaker and not leaving. So if you're coming with us, you need to get behind the banner. Press behind the banner, please. Clearly.
racist ass cops. Freedom, freedom. Hold up, hold up. All these racist ass cops. Freedom, freedom. Yep, and I also want to just tell people, this is about perception. This is about making sure that we don't let this happen again, right? It's trying to make sure that we don't have to be out here out again, right? I'm sick and tired of being in front of this government center. I'm sick and tired of learning new things, okay? And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that we have a fucking problem. And so when we see that there's an issue, we don't remain silent and wait for someone to die. We already did that, right? We saw the rise, the spiking rise of our Asian American brothers and sisters, right? We saw that racist rhetoric that they were saying. We saw the rise in hate crime. Did we need to see 8 people shot and killed? Fucking disgusting! We gotta take control now! We need to make sure that we stop some shit from happening before it happens! And that's why we out here! That's what fucking justice is! So our next speaker is a good friend of mine. And she's running for office, she's running for PC. Give it up for Samantha!
I'm going to make this quick because I know that we're ready to march. You've heard all the things, you've heard about all the things. We got to start talking about what we are going to do. It was mentioned earlier. How many of you are following your local Black and BIPOC journalists that are out here? You are donating to them to pay them for their labor because this knowledge is not free. How many of you are making sure that we need. Their halls of power are the ones that we need to build for ourselves. So I'm asking you today to make sure that you're getting involved and that you're elevating your consciousness above not just marching, not just holding up a sign, not just looking the part, but acting the part. That's right. Because until we know, we are never going to build the future that we want to see. And we will continue to march, we will continue to yell, but it's not just about organizing, it is not just about activism. You have got to mobilize. And I'll end with this. I will be hanging dog chains on this fence to see how those folks feel about cutting down their own. Let's see how they feel about that. Because I'm a veteran that fought an unjust war. 14 months in Afghanistan watching my friends get murdered. Coming home and some of them killing themselves. Some by suicide by cop. Because they couldn't live with what they did. They couldn't live with their friends that they saw get mowed down. So since they're all standing around on our dime with nothing to do anyway, let's see how they feel when they have to cut down some of their own. Who was murdered and missing, a black woman from overseas, raped and murdered. Vanessa Guillen from Fort Hood. There is a long list of names of black and brown people that because of poverty, they joined the military to try to create a better life for themselves. Stop giving them soldiers and there won't be any militarization. You don't got to join the military, join your community. Find some beauty in your community.
Thank you, Sam. I just want to say something. Sam was talking about economic power. One of the things that she did talk about, but she normally does, is reparations too. On the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar, we support reparations for black folks. But one of the other things we believe and we support in the Twin Cities Coalition for Justice for Jamar is black liberation. And we know that this political and economic system is not going to give it to us unless we fight for it. And so you saw this past year, black folks, brown folks, indigenous folks, and white working class folks join together. And we have built past this system. This is not a justice system. This is an injustice system. That's the way this economy and political system works. So we need to build past that. And one of the ways we're going to do that is start building for revolution. And so I'm going to pass it over to DJ, who's going to give us the first revolutionary chant, and we're going to get going here. So DJ, go ahead.
When I say revolution, you say ain't nothing fuck with. Revolution!
Ain't nothing to fuck with!
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 You can't stop the revolution!
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 This is what community looks like!
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 This is what unity looks like!
This is what community looks like!
All right, just want to let everyone know, the press, you can be in front of the van or on the side, but you cannot be behind us. Not safe. We're not going to ask y'all one time.
Marching! Marching! Press! You need to be on the side behind the banner. We will stop this march if you do not listen. Stay behind the banner. Stay behind the banner. Stay behind the banner.
Behind the banner. Are you not wasted? Are you For nationwide removal left. For nationwide removal left. For nationwide removal left. For nationwide removal left. The Asian laws are under attack. What do we do?
Man up, fight back.
The Asian laws are under attack. What do we do? When Asian laws are under attack, what do we do? 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 Well, I say we the people. You say are powerful. We the people. We the people. We the people. Well, I say it's our duty. You say to fight for our freedom. It's our duty. 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 Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We're here to shut this shit down. Boots on the ground. We're here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We're here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We're here to shut this shit down. All right, really, man. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots. We here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We here to shut this shit down. Boots, boots, boots on the ground. We here to shut this shit down. I believe that we will win. 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 I know 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 that we will win. I believe 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 that we will win. Let's go. I believe that we will win. One more time. I believe that we will win. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like. This is 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 what community looks like. When I say who's the enemy, you say white supremacy. Who's the enemy? 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 Okay, repeat after me. The world is watching. 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 Okay, now this is what's going on. We are watching. 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 Okay, when I say community control, you say it's the way to go. Community control. 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 Okay, when I say when will all lives matter, you say when Black lives matter. When will all lives matter? When will all lives matter? When will all lives matter?
Mic check, you need to get behind the banner again. Get behind the banner. Get behind the banner. Stay behind the banner. Stay behind the banner.
No justice, no peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, no peace. No peace. Prosecute the police. No justice, 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 no peace. Prosecute the police. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, 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 hey. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, ho. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. The National Guard has got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These cops have got to go. Hey, 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 ho, 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 ho. These cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These colonizers got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. These colonizers have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, ho. These colonizers have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Hey, hey, ho, 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 ho. All right, I'm gonna say, do blue lives matter? You say that doesn't exist, okay? Do blue lives matter? It doesn't exist. Do blue
Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Our streets! Stand up for them! 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 Oh, get it.